I listen to my breathing, and I feel the rise and fall of my torso. I smell the pappy whey along with the slightly stale and metallic scent of the recycled air. I'm surprised by how I feel right now, as if I could try more complex meditation without issue, but I don't dare do that without my instructor. Neferu might know how. I feel my anxiety spike and I quickly focus again. I'm here, in the moment. Without judgment, they pushed him out of the dormitory window and he landed on his head on the cobblestones. He was just trying to hide. Why would they do this? Why would anyone do this? Because they're mindless, uneducated scum. What else should we expect from those districts? Breathing. Remember? Breathing. I feel my mind wanting to leave. Almost like it's levitating, being drawn towards something else. Ba-bum. We're in Danny Phantom world. My eyes fly open, shocked. Shit, sorry. Tried to lift off one of the crates on my bed so I didn't have to bend over and I dropped. Skip. Can't move or speak. Everything appears strange, vivid and crisp. I could smell the assassin's blood and entrails again. The Hawaii is going to stay with you forever, isn't it? A voice I've only heard in my dreams whispers directly into my ear. It's a real voice, not one that comes from my head or imagination. It's a rustling of dead leaves, rattling out of the throat of something ancient, something that knows me better than I know myself. I feel myself back in the den. So I reach for the only escape I can, the feeling that I was pulling at my mind earlier. Shit! I hear Brunus's panicked voice, but I'm far too detached to even wonder about what he said or why. I vaguely feel a jolt through my head and body, but that's it. Then I feel nothing. This is what true peace feels like, Scipio. But even better, because you don't exist at all. Oh, this fucking background again. Imagine a universe without life. How peaceful things would be then. Ah, I know that fucking font. The parents are a foot, or Mira. It's either one of those two. Nothing. It's a perfect feeling. Sapiens cannot be trusted. You included, Scipio. Remember how the Cretin wolves treated you? Remember how the Khemians treat the wolves? Remember how Neferu treated you? And do you remember your true purpose here? How you are treating Neferu? I hate it. But more important, remember how the parents treat sapiens in the name of agency. And yet, what choice do any of you have? Oh, flash the green skull thing. You can help those like you, and all other sapiens. I would if I could. You can. I have no idea how long it's been. But when I feel back in my own mind, I'm even more confused about where I am. I wonder if I've died. Like Urbicus died. Maybe I fell and hit my head and died like Spurius did. Or maybe our ship somehow crashed and I've been left to float through space forever. Or for only a few more seconds before I suffocate. That would be all right, I decide. Even as I take a deep, easy breath of air. I would rather I'd rather feel this way, insignificant and meaningless against the monolithic oppression of the universe. It makes me feel oddly peaceful. My goodness, Scipio, if only your friends and colleagues could hear half of what you think. Oh, okay, a deep but feminine voice comes from seemingly every direction. Sorry, I don't know. The Echo Game way, only describe the voice after the fact. I look around, suddenly feeling as if I'm being spied upon, wondering if the directionless voice is from my own head. What? Those weren't my own thoughts, though. It's a deep, raspy chuckle, one that I recognize as distinctly feline, the type I've heard from recordings that involved Hindo tigers. Yep. Perhaps not. But do you not agree with them, young wolf? Who are you? Are you from Hindo? Very good. Especially for a wolf living in a time where Hindo has severed relations with Adastra completely. There she is. It's Mira again. I fucking called it. But can you guess who I actually am? Can we get more than one fucking sprite of this character, though? Her eyes are so piercing, so intense that although I want to ask again what exactly is happening, I feel obliged to answer. And so I quickly run through a list of tigresses I know of, only one of which is alive, the current ruler of Hindo, Maharani Arti. The tigress eyes me closely, so I lower my ears, just wishing I could go back soon. Consider the impossibility of where you are. You think Artie would try to come all the way here to talk to some rebellious pup? I swallow hard, trying to keep my breathing even, because whatever this is, I think that it's somehow real. I like the floaty effect. It makes the same old sprite as always seem a little more, you know, a little more different. But there could be an explanation. Are you Mira? The quiet smile on her face answers my question. Well, I suppose 2 attempts is not terrible, though I must say that the human knew immediately. Amicus is human? Yes. The voice of dead leaves is gone now, as is the feeling of nothingness, and I'm embarrassed as I long to be back there knowing the tigress knows what I'm thinking. Mira stays silent, though the look on her face tells me that she's waiting for me to speak. Are the parents doing this? Are they making contact with me? It is rumored that they did the same with the human. Mira is quiet for a while, so I stay quiet as well, unable to think of any other reason for this to be happening, as if it is really happening. The parents are a complex matter, Scipio. Direct communication with them is impossible unless they break their own rules against interference. She narrows her eyes. Think more logically, though, concerning the voice. Would the parents say such things to you? I answer honestly. I don't know. I try to think logically as she told me to do. Maybe it's a test? Or maybe this is part of the plan? Do you know who that was? Was that you? Mira's quiet again, but it's more like she's pondering something. I cannot say for certain, Scipio. But what I do know is that you don't trust the parents. It sends a jolt of fear through me. I do! I just don't understand what the purpose of any of this is. The tiger chuckles again. Take comfort in the fact that this is all no fault of your own. The parents plant all the seeds, after all. Why did you bring me here? Is there something I'm supposed to do? Or maybe you have instructions? You brought yourself here, Scipio. The stretch drive makes the layers between planes more permeable. Would you believe that the parents physically stopped the human from killing Amicus while they were in the stretch? I don't know if I do, and I don't know what to say. Such agency they've gifted us with, eh? Mira taps a finger to her head. The fear continues to rise in me, not wanting to anger the parents and not wanting to be dead, because the amalgamation is where we truly go. You fear death. You fear the amalgamation. Rather, you feel it is an abomination, and deep down, though you will not admit it to even yourself. My fur bristles, and I try to jolt myself awake, but nothing happens. You do not trust the parents, or anyone for that matter. Am I going to be punished? They know I am a fraud on a mission to further parental agendas when I don't believe them to be right. I'm only here for selfish reasons. I believe disagreeing with their grand plan is one of the lesser troubling thoughts in your head. You have enough hatred to set fire to those wolves yourself. You're capable of dark things, Scipio. But who wouldn't be after that day? I realize my legs are trembling, but I can at least feel them, and that gives me hope. Please wake up. Mira raises a paw. Easy, young wolf. I am only here to help you, to warn and to advise. You need guidance, and I am here to offer it if you will take it. I frown and rack my brain for lessons I had on Mira if she was ever used in this manner in the past. Her main purpose was that of self-sacrifice to push Drusus in the correct direction for the Empire. She has little to do with the parents. As far as I know, it is only the monitors that communicate for the parents. Does that mean that this is not sanctioned by the parents? Yes. And do not be afraid that you are not in lockstep with their vision for the future. They have limited themselves by professing the importance of free will, choice without interference. I am not afraid to admit that I disagree with them completely. I never entered the amalgamation as I believe that it is an attack on life, rather than a preservation of it. Besides, they can't even agree with each other. They bicker just as much as the siblings. Ooh, the background grows dark. The borders of this odd in-between world begin to shimmer and fade, and I realize it's ending. Wait! Please! You say that you did not have to go to the amalgamation, that you can help fix me. Can you tell me more? That voice, please don't leave me yet. Mira smiles at me at my desperation that I know must look insane, but I truly am desperate. This will not be the last time we speak. Trust that I will appear again when the time is right. This was merely an introduction. Okay. Thank you, Mira. It was a pleasure meeting you, Scipio. Or Scipio, whatever the fuck your name is. Until next time. But as I'm feeling the relief of escape, another voice adds their own thoughts just as I'm leaving. One that I recognize. Higher pitched and female. That of a jackal. There we go! Scipio, say this to Neferu. Netek Aum Hotep Ak. Whatever the fuck that means. Tell him to stop sulking like a spoiled prince and to communicate with you. This is important. He'll understand. The fuck does that mean? I hope the fuck you remember what that was. I feel my body once more and I'm lying on something soft.
I don't know. He said he was gonna meditate, and then he looked at me all scared before his eyes just rolled back the back of his head.
I can't move, though. My body's feeling locked in place, though my fingers or ears begin to regain some movement.
Did you give him something?
No!
Skip?
My paws begin to shift.
Hey, look! He's moving! Look at him! He's doing it!
I feel a touch on my shoulder, gentle and tentative.
Did you blow the vapor in his direction? He's a wolf and has no experience with that drug. He can be very sensitive to it. If that's all it takes to get him high, then why hasn't he ever freaked out when he's sitting next to me? I'm sorry to tell you something you already know, but Pap smells terrible. He turns his nose away whenever you get close.
As I begin to come back to what I believe is reality, they continue to go back and forth, and I imagine their voices at a sparring match. It reminds me of the one time Neferu manages to convince the Wolverine to spar. Despite his build and size, Brunus isn't much of a fighter. The match barely lasted more than 1 minute before Brunus was on his knees retching so loud he sounded like a giant squawking bird. Even though I felt bad for him at the time, I chuckled, surprising even myself. They stop arguing. Then all at once the paralysis releases me and I shift slowly. I'm confused for a moment, then sit up quickly. I realize the scene I'm making right now, but I don't know what happened. All I can do is say the only thing that might confirm I'm not going insane before I forget it. Nedicom Hotep Bach. I'm sure that won't freak him the fuck out. You wake up from fucking having a paralysis seizure, and then you wake up chuckling, and then say something in their fucking language that seems to translate to calm the fuck down and stop being a mopey bitch. I don't know. You know what? Let's actually use the fucking translate camera on that shit. Because Lord knows I have all the time in the world. This recording has gone on for fucking ever. It might not be an actual language they're using. I thought maybe it would be Egyptian or ancient Egyptian. Well, then yeah, I'm assuming that it's some sort of amalgamation of language. The way they stare at me makes my ears fold back for a moment, embarrassed about my clumsy, heavy accent despite the situation, knowing my words are heard directly by both of them, unfiltered by their language. But I'm more worried that if it was only a dream, I'd probably spoken some faux Khemian gibberish pulled from my pre-intermediate knowledge of the language. I almost want to make the excuse that it takes years to learn Khemian, especially for wolves. Neferu's reaction says otherwise, though, but I'm not sure if it's a preferable one.
What did you say?
I stare back at him, feeling out of body, as if I've suddenly been dropped here from a distant moon. Clearly it meant something, possibly something serious or even something bad. I don't know. I was meditating and got lost, and I don't know. I cover my face, finally overwhelmed and not knowing what to do. What the hell is happening to me? It's quiet, but I hear them murmur to each other for a moment, followed by movement, and when I look up, Brunus is gone. The bed shifts with added weight as Neferu sits next to me. He's quiet, as if waiting for me to say more, to explain what I had just said. I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. I know the word peace, and maybe welcome, but there's a lack of resources to learn Khemian on Adastra, and it's especially hard for Adastrans because of the differences, and I realize I'm over-explaining and trail off, deciding to wait for Neferu to break the silence.
It sounded fine, Skip. It's the first time I've heard a wolf speak a full sentence in Khemian, actually. But I'm much more interested in what prompted you to say it.
Is it a bad thing to say? I try to keep my paws from gripping my thighs too tightly, but Neferu shakes his head.
It means welcome and be at ease, brother.
As if to pay me in kind, he says it in Adastrian. Now I hear Neferu's voice unfiltered, but his accent is pleasant, almost sing-song in quality, and I know it sounds better than my own bumbling accent stumbling over Khemian. I can tell he's fluent just from that sentence. Neferu waves a paw as if brushing something aside.
Roughly, anyway. It can be worded in many ways, but I'm wondering where you heard it, or why you said it.
I looked down at the sterile metal floor of the ship, only now able to absorb what I'd seen and heard while I had been meditating, though meditation has never done anything like that to me before. As I think back on it, I don't want to tell him the majority of what I saw and heard, but I can at least tell him about the third and final voice. I heard a voice while meditating. A female jackal, I think. Neferu is clearly trying to keep his reaction muted, but he can't fully hide his surprise. I feel a bit uneasy again. Should I be wary of it? I didn't see anyone.
Did the voice say anything else?
My ears ducked down again. It mentioned that, you should communicate with me and not to sulk like a spoiled prince or something. Neferu makes a soft huffing sound of surprise, almost like a laugh.
It really is her, then.
Oh.
My youngest sister, Aya.
Really? Why would she contact me? How could she even make contact like that? She's on Khemia, right? I'd studied the royal family, but there was a noticeable lack of information on the youngest of the four siblings, aside from her being some sort of religious scholar who performed traditional Khemian rituals for the family.
She's on Khemia, yes, but as to how she's contacting you or why, I'm not sure. She's clearly never contacted me like that in the past 3 years.
There's a touch of bitterness in his voice, likely covering up the hurt he feels if it's true that Aya is the only member of his family that Neferu is close to. But how's it even possible for her to do that? She said you would understand.
Well, her duties involve things that are quite abstract and beyond my own understanding. If she scolded me and said I should communicate with you, she might have an interest in you specifically, for whatever reason.
It's quiet for a few seconds. But how does she even know me? This is making me feel like I'm still dreaming, Neferu. You don't even seem that surprised that she's able to do this. I know he's not telling me everything he knows. Neferu opens his mouth and then closes it, as if struggling to find the right words.
Don't worry too much about it. She can be hard to understand and sometimes gets excited over things that others would find insignificant.
This doesn't feel like communication to me. Neferu, you are emotionally close to her, right?
Yes. Probably because the two of us didn't exactly fit in with the family, though she's doing a much better job of it now than I am.
So she must have told you at some point what she's capable of what her role is. Neferu, she's reaching across light years to speak to me. I'm a bit concerned about that.
Neferu sighs deeply. The truth is that I am under parental oath not to discuss it. I might not even be allowed to say that, but I'll wait for a monitor to smite me if that's the case. I know it all sounds very strange and even frightening, so I didn't want to add to your worries. Keep in mind that she, like I, can be a bit dramatic at times.
I see. I don't see. I still have many, many questions about the other voices she seems to be fighting against, but maybe I can talk to Aya herself about it if I am even allowed to do so.
I can say that if she has the ability to astral project to contact other sapiens, then that is new information to me. However, it's not out of the realm of possibility considering what she does. If that were always the case, I would have expected her to have given me advice over the past 3 years. Again, I might get in trouble for even saying this much.
I think. I think. Just statement of what he's doing, I think. I apologize in advance for even suggesting this, but you have every reason to believe that she's currently alive, right?
Of course. Why wouldn't she be?
Now Neferu is the one looking nervous. I fully decide then that I won't bring up Mira, who is very much dead. Sorry, just trying to figure out how this is happening. I've heard claims that unamalgamated spirits can do that. Well, if that were somehow the case, I would be a bit upset that she appeared to you, only to tell me to stop feeling sorry for myself. Not entirely bad advice, though. However, she would be amalgamated, no doubt. I can still see that I've worried Neferu, so I decided to move the conversation along by asking about what she meant. That makes sense. Maybe I can meet her when we arrive, assuming it was really her. Of course, I'll introduce you. Thank you, Neferu. So if you're not allowed to discuss her duties, what do you think she meant when she said to communicate with me? Judging by what you told me, I think she wants me to help you, instead of acting as I did when you came out of the lavatory. I'd almost forgotten about that. I suddenly feel better despite our terrifying ordeal I had experienced during my meditation. Neferu's sister encouraging us to communicate will be very helpful to me, as she seems to have a good deal of influence, and not just over her brother. Well, I did react in a rude way myself. I could tell what I said was hurtful to you. I was just embarrassed about being seen in that moment of weakness. Oh, you don't need to apologize. I was being nosy, and you reacted in an understandable way. If you'll accept an excuse, my overreaction is rooted in past experiences. Oh? How so? I once knew an amorphin by the name of Alexius. Oh, you knew him personally? Alexius, the sibling pet and rumored lover of Cassius, the former false emperor and also Amicus's brother, Alexius was an agent of Amorpha sent to Adastra to sow chaos in the very fabric of our society, a mission that was ultimately successful. One could say that he is the main reason for the riots occurring. Well, I knew him, but I doubt anyone knew him personally, aside from maybe Cassius. Anyway, despite nearly toppling Adastra, he was never a very good spy, but he was underestimated. And he struck Cassius's fancy. It's easier to be a spy when you have a direct connection to the very heart of power. Neferu looks at me candidly in case I missed it. But I didn't. I already know he sees right through me, but I also think I sometimes see right through him. In all honesty, though, I wasn't thinking about the game I or the both of us are playing. I should be calculating the best way to establish a relationship that Neferu will feel reliant upon, even if it's detrimental to Khemia. Bedarus told me earlier that this is an especially promising exploit, considering Neferu's relationship with his family is poor, to put it lightly. That's my end goal, despite the slim odds of it going that far or even being needed. His brother and younger sister are both in positions of much higher power and influence, and after learning more about his younger sister and her secretive directives, she might be as well. But for the first time, for right now at least, I'm following my emotions where they take me. The dutiful part of me, the part that I thought was all of me, is scolding myself, but for some reason, after the experience I just had, it doesn't feel like the most pressing issue. It's a bit alarming, but I calm myself by reasoning that this is simply the best way to approach Neferu, that my beliefs and goals have not changed. One strange experience during meditation, an experience I'm not even sure was real, should not be able to cause that. Another part of me, one that feels foreign, knows it was real, but that won't help with staying calm. I see.
Well, whenever he found himself cornered, he often resorted to a very strange state of mind. Basically, he would exhibit the expression and emotion of a rock, a classic diplomatic defensive maneuver he often used to get out of situations he couldn't, though he was never subtle about it. He's possibly the most selfish, amoral political official I have ever had the displeasure of dealing with. To be clear, I knew his motives were to serve Amorpha, which can be argued to be the most anti-Adastran sibling world, but what I didn't expect was a sniveling coward willing to destroy the foundation of an entire sibling civilization and cause loss of life in the thousands. I nod, though having not known the cat, I feel a bit detached. Amorpha has always loathed Adastra, as they see us to be the biggest threat to stability in the Galaxius. That, along with having parents who shared the same galaxy before arriving, resulted in a closeness of our cultures that only emphasizes our differences. And with all due respect to Amicus, I had always viewed the situation to be the fault of the Imperial family for allowing an Amorphan to get so close in the first place. Anyway, when you came out of the lavatory, the look you gave me was strikingly similar. But I know that's not you, Scipio. You're a good, honest person, and I know you would never do such a thing if the intention is simply... What? If the intention is simply chaos and destruction. Yeah, that's a weird way to phrase it, but yeah, I get what you're trying to say. And despite our differences in culture and language, and despite the history between our people, you are my friend, and I trust you.
Good, he's saying we're not Alexius. You know what? I really like this. I don't remember this conversation happening. Not saying it didn't necessarily happen, because again, my memory is spotty. But I'm glad this conversation is happening. Not only is it, like, acknowledging the weird emotions of it all, but it's tying together the history of Amorpha and Adastra and Alexius and all of it. It makes the games feel connected and the universe feel connected. I like this. It feels all put together. I like this a lot. I almost smiled despite myself. This is Neferu communicating. Perhaps he's an outlier amongst the supposedly blunt Khemians, but I'm able to understand what he's saying. I know that you're here to gather intelligence, to better Adastra's position in the Alliance, and to use me as a tool, just as Alexius used Cassius. I'm lonely, and I need someone that I can call a friend, a true friend, and in this relationship, I know that you have nothing to lose, while I could lose everything. But I know that you are full of compassion, and you would never do what he did, and so while I know that you can't be trusted, I trust you. The real question is if he's making the right choice. I look Neferu in the eye, in what I hope is in a meaningful way, so that he might know that I understand. And I trust you. I simply want the galaxy to achieve harmony, and TT sounds pup-like. But all I want is less hardship and anguish for sapients and all other living things. Feel the fur on the nape of my neck bristle just slightly, feeling sick for just being in my skin. I would watch the clay district burn for sheer pleasure of it. Why feel anything but joy in the destruction of uneducated, cruel sapients who act like dumb beasts lesser than livestock? Thank you. Shit, no. Thank you, Skip. Truly. I have a feeling that this experience will change your life and your perspective on life itself.
And Astra did that for me. Both good and bad. But I wouldn't take it back. So just keep an open mind, and I'll always be available if you need help.
Thank you, Neferu, truly. And please, if I offend again, just talk to me. We're friends, wolven friends, after all, and that means you can be very blunt.
Sounds like a plan. Now we should get some sleep so as to not throw off our schedules when we arrive in about 6 hours. Brunus is actually in my room, so I can sleep in his bed if you don't mind.
I don't mind. And we both end up sleeping in my bed. Mercifully, I'm left alone by the voices. That is until I hear
Exiting Stretch Drive in 10 minutes. Prepare for security check and royal escort.
To be continued. Hey. You fucker. Okay. Let's see the credits. Let's see the credits. The credits. The credits. Let's see those fucking credits. The credits looked very fucking full. Yeah. Okay. So that to holy shit. To confirm what I was saying earlier, the character design and sprite artwork is still Haps. So all that shit I was saying about how the artwork for the characters has improved over the years from the first game all the way back. I don't know how many years it's been, but it's been a while. Fucking so fucking awesome that it has improved so much over the years. Shout out to Haps on that one. Also the CG work. There are some games where the CGs are done by other people. It can be a bit jarring. Here, done by both. That's cool. Haps is working with 2 other people for the backgrounds. That's cool too. Anthemix for the original music. Got some stock music in there as well. Howley on the writing. Background artwork, I should say the names. We got Strange and Black Sun D. Am I really going to say all the fucking names? There's a lot of fucking names here. Jade Daiwan doing stock music. Programming is Howley and Orion. Shout out to Orion, by the way. Shout out to them. Additional programming is Scar and Watson. We did a episode, I believe it was following the plot, talking to Watson. Sound effects and stock music, Storyblocks and freesound.org. We interviewed freesound.org. No, we didn't. Gumdrop Studios. Nice. Strange. What? Strange over there too. Did background art and the main menu artwork. Very nice. Logo artwork from Cardamon. UI and graphic design from Dylan Wunsch. Merchandise designers is Haps, Hyena Blood, Cat Sundon, and Black Sun Die. And they can get the merch at Pop Print Press. And of course, it's all done in Ren'Py. Big fucking team. And of course, it's all under the banner of Echo Project. Yeah. Holy shit. I am fucking tired. I spent 2 days reading this fucking game. I am very excited to see where this goes, because we've got a lot of interesting plot threads here. We've got the development of Khemia far outstretching not only what Khemian scholars feel is possible, but just general development of what people are aware of and what they're advertising as being what they're doing. So that seems to be off. General Khemia seems to be just strange. Like, what the fuck's going on with and their tech? So that's one thing. Another thing, Mira's back, and not just on a weird fucking ending. Mira's gonna be front and center, fucking with things going forward. The one world government ending for the human is the canon ending, according to this, and I don't know how prevalent that's going to be in the happenings of this game. Probably not too prevalent, but that's something to keep in mind. I don't know if Amicus is going to be showing that he's wearing his ring at any point. That'd be nice. Maybe I'm misremembering something about that. If he's wearing it on a necklace or something. I feel like he was wearing it at the end of Adastra or something. I don't know. The mental state of Scipio. Again, let me know how that is supposed to be pronounced. All of this is done in one recording session, not 2 recording sessions. Not one episode has been made public yet. So for all those who have already told me, I have not seen your comments yet. So sorry about that. But his mental state is, he's not only mentally scarred, PTSD out the ass, but he also has a lot of resentment. He is angry. He is furious. He's classist, definitely, but he is fucking enraged. But he's also getting mentally fucked with by a voice in his head that isn't just Mira. There's something else in there that's trying to guide him away from cooperating with Neferu and other things. There's something else in him that's fucking with him, and I don't know if it's there's something else. And then there's also something going on with Neferu's sister that's parentally fucking, sealed away, can't be talked about, which I didn't even know that could be a thing. Parental oath, that seems ominous as shit. Yeah, like, there seems to be so much dressing that the characters almost feel secondary, which can be a risk. There can be a risk, but you know what? There's a lot of spinning plates, and sometimes when there so many spinning plates, you forget to look at the person spinning them, which is a narrative allegory for having so many plot threads that you forget about the characters. I don't think that's going to happen here. There were some parts that were kind of more stiltily written, a little more verbose. An immense vocabulary was utilized in the writing of this anyway, a lot of big words were used, and not in the most normal way of speaking. There are times when not casual speak is good, but a natural way of speaking is not always the way to go. Like a formal setting is, it makes sense, but sometimes you just got to use a contraction. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. My overall impression, there is a lot to build off of. I look forward to seeing, hopefully, some of it get explained eventually. Hopefully. I love that a lot got called back to, and not only got called back to, but built off of thematically. That felt rewarding as a fan of the first game. So, thank you all for watching. On the next episode, we'll play more of this. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, like the video. If you didn't like the video, dislike the video. I'll see you on the next one. Leave a comment down below telling me your favorite fucking, I don't know, game on the Wii. Mine is Super Smash Brothers Brawl. Bye, everyone.